Alexandre.
So my name is Alexandre Bodart Pinto. I had a motorbike accident when I was 16 years old, and my main passion is traveling, so I travel in around 40 countries around the world. I realized how difficult it is to get the right information when you travel, so I joined what Jasmine just said. I'm actually an entrepreneur for almost 20 years, and I decided a few months ago to sell all my activities to focus on this new project that I have, which is Everybody.travel. It's a kind of a big booking platform because I'm the first one saying that when you just talk about social, things move but step by step. So I present disability as a business, actually. So the new project it's a huge business. It's a massive business. We are talking about billions worldwide market. And now I'm here based in Dubai because I want to launch the project in UAE and Middle East to split it in the world as soon as possible. That's
Wonderful.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about things that you have encountered with either information or misinformation or other when it comes to accommodation.
Actually, for me, the biggest problem is indeed the access to information, because I'm the first one saying that we don't need every single hotels to be accessible if we talk about hotels. But at least to know which hotel is accessible, which hotel is friendly to the needs that we all have, because everyone has different needs.
Yes.
Could be mental handicap, could be physical handicap, could be any kind of, let's say, reduced mobility or mobility issues. If we are not talking only about handicap, but pregnant women, families with babies and so on, we all have different needs. Yeah, like this? Okay.
Yeah.
So as I was just saying that we all have different needs
Yes.
when we travel. So for me, the most important is the access to information. And that's what I'm actually working on a big project. Because it's not only about hotels, it's about transport, accommodation, venues, activities, everything.
Yes.
So actually I'm working on a project which is a kind of project that you are already doing. It's a mix of, let's say, Booking.com, Expedia, and TripAdvisor, dedicated to any kind of special needs. So I can talk during hours about my own experience. I guess we can all talk about difficulties, issues, but I think it's time to find the solutions. And it's better to talk about the solutions than the problems, because there are a lot of problems. I can just give you a small example. It's just not only about hotels, but 2 weeks ago, I live here in Dubai now, and in my tower there is a steam bath. That steam bath was not wheelchair friendly. So what happened, they helped me to get inside the steam bath, hammam as they call it here. And as it was not accessible, they left me inside without my wheelchair. They closed the door, and what happened, I told them I can stay there 15, 20 minutes. I told them just come back after 15 or 20 minutes. What happened is that the steam came out really too hot, and it completely burned my legs. You cannot see it now because I put a jean, but I'm completely burned 2nd and 3rd degrees. So I have to go every day to hospital to make treatments and so on. I was stuck inside the steam bath. Cannot go out because it was not wheelchair friendly, and I was seeing my chair outside. It's a chance that the guy came after 5 minutes, security guy, just to check if everything was okay. Because if he didn't, the doctor told me that I would be dead. Because the steam, hot steam, could come in the lungs, and I would not be here today. So this is a kind of example that it's not related to hotels only. We have a lot of things to do, like in terms of venues, in terms of buildings, in terms of tourism in general. But if I knew, if I had the right information since the beginning, I could probably adapt my trip. I could probably adapt my apartment and stuff like that. So access to information is for me really, really important. And I'm also the first one, as I said before, like maybe I can shock some people when I talk like that, but if we want things to move, we have to present disability, handicap, reduced mobility as a market. I'm based here for 3 months. I guess people here will probably agree with what I'm saying, I hope. When you present the project as a social impact only, they will all tell you, mashallah, fabulous, it will work, inshallah. But then what? Nothing happened, you know? If you present it as a business, and I'm here to present it as a business, I'm talking about millions or billions, then they realize, okay, it has, of course, a social impact, but we can make money. It's a niche, it's a market. And then step by step, things are changing. I have the same speech when I go to the hotel chains or to the hotel groups, and I told them, did you know that handicap represent 15% of the population, any kind of disability? Did you know that if we are going to reduce mobility, so elderly, pregnant women and so on, we go to 40% of the population. You don't want to target or to attract more of those people, then you go with numbers. And then of course, the way they start, the way they are seeing the disability or whatever, or the market, let's say, is different. So for me, this is the key. We can wait after social, but for me, it's better to talk in terms of market and numbers to increase the accessibility and the way they will see the market, actually.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
And hopefully you're going to be healed soon.
Actually, it takes weeks because burns takes a lot of time. Yeah. Anyway, that's life, but was just an example to show you that, yeah, it can create much more problems, actually, or issues. I had to cancel some of my trips. I'm here for business, so for me, time is money.
Right.
And yeah, it's a big problem. But it's not the first time that it happened. That I get some problems that create like injuries. I can just give you another example. A few years ago, I was traveling in another country, and like we all said before, like I book online, it was written accessible for wheelchair or wheelchair friendly. When I arrived in the hotel, actually the shower seat and the pipe to get the water, was in the back. So actually it was so complicated to open the shower if you are seated like that when I did like this, I was burning the back because it was too hot too. So it may seem like, oh, okay, it's nothing important, but it can go to much bigger injuries. Well, actually, when I started so I have a foundation also called Wheeling Around the World, dedicated to improve the way of traveling for all people who have mobility issues. And what pushed me to start that foundation, I was traveling in another country like 6 or 7 years ago, and I was talking with a guy. This guy was like 60 years old. He was in a wheelchair, and he was explaining me that he doesn't have so much money and so on. He never traveled, or almost never. And he told me, I'm becoming old. I know that my health is not so good and so on. I had a dream 1 year earlier. It was to invite my entire family to travel all together with his kids, grandkids, and so on. And then I asked him, and how was it? And I realized that guy was like suddenly really sad. I can see like tears in his eyes. And he told me it was a nightmare. And I said, why? And he told me like he booked the hotel for his entire family. And he told me actually the hotel was not accessible as it was supposed to be. So the second day of the holidays, let's say, he fell on the floor and he injured himself. So he spent the entire holidays at the hospital. And he told me, I will never travel again. So I decided at that time, okay, it's time to change, and do as much as I can, let's say, to improve step by step, to do some lobbying and to improve the tourism industry. That's why.
Thank you. Thank you. Alexandre.
From my point of view, I would say that disability or disabled persons or people of determination, as they call it here, we don't have to wait after tourism industry to change. We have to go out, we have to show that we exist, because if we wait after the others, things will take a lot of time, and that's the slogan of my foundation also. But just to resume in one minute or less, 3 years ago we climbed the Mont Blanc, which is the highest mountain in France, with some other people in a wheelchair. It was not to say to wheelchair users, go and climb the Mont Blanc, no. The message was just, if we are able to do that, you can go out, take a train, take a bus, even if it's complicated, show that you exist, because if people don't see us, they will never change. That's why.
True. Thank you.